Have you ever done a video when you thought you knew exactly what the outcome was going to be? Hello everyone, we're going to do another versus video. Because there's a new version coming out for Tiddy's Return, we're going to do Animated Blitzwing versus Generations Blitzwing. The rules are as follows. I slightly changed them because of there are multiple transformations. You'll see where I'm going. The categories are as follows: robot form, tank form, jet form, overall execution, transformation. Let's make them fight!
Round one. Fight!
So we'll start off with the jet form. Animated Blitz is very, very nice. He has a nice swept back wing look, nose cone on him. However, there's a few things about this guy that I'm not that fond of in regards to the aesthetics. And it's this. There's a tank under there. There is a tank underneath his actual jet form. I don't think it actually goes together that well in regards to the... unless I've transformed this wrong, which remember I don't actually have any of the instructions to do this, but the top part doesn't actually lock in perfectly. The back part kind of just loosely sits there. It can come up. Like I say, I might be transforming this thing totally wrong, but it's a nice looking jet. However, Generations plane actually feels like it goes together better. It feels like it's actually held together nicer. It's the actual wings part look great. I know some people aren't fond of the squidgy nose part of it. I quite like it. I mean, fair enough, the back part of it is got like these toe bits and the tail part. But I like the top part of it. I like the fact that you can incorporate the weapons storage into the top. It covers up a multiple of sins. And the tank, apart from the barrel which sticks out the back there, is pretty much out of sight, out of mind. You can't really see that it's there. This is going to be controversial. I'm going to give the jet form to the Generations Blitzwing.
Round two.
Let's have a look at the tank form, shall we? In tank form, we'll look at the animated first. To actually get it from jet form to actual tank form is very, very quick and very, very simple. What you basically do is transform you fold the wings in, fold them down, you swing round the turret part and fold down the tail section, and then you put the turret part back on the top there. And it's very nice. It's a nice looking tank, not a traditional kind of looking tank, but it's very, very nice nonetheless. And I like the twin barrel kind of thing, and the fact that it's got like big orange fiery bits coming out of it. However, it's not that much of a tank. Let's be honest. I mean, it's only a tank by name. You would never see a tank like this normally in the real world. Whereas this looks fabulous as a tank. I know that some people may not like the aesthetics of it. This is the problem I have with this review, is that I thought that I knew exactly what was going to be more popular, what was going to be the better looking thing. And I've always loved this tank. Always loved this tank. It comes from the Metal Slug kind of style of tank, where it's nice and heavy, but it's got a turning turret on the top. It's the fact that you can mount the gun on the top and it actually looks exactly what it should. It should actually be up there. It has a working barrel, so you can actually fire off the projectile, and it's just really nice. Fair enough, at the back it doesn't look great, but then again, does that look great to you? Does that look good? Both of these things suffer massively in their execution, because we're trying to turn a robot into a plane and into a tank, and it's easier said than done. So you're asking me, which is the better tank? It goes to Generations again. Let's go to robot form, shall we?
Round three.
So in robot form, This is where we hit some problems. The animated Blitz transforms really, really nicely from the tank form or the plane form into the robot form. The robot form, when you actually transform it, is very simple. It's very, very nice. And in robot form, in regards to how he looks on the actual show, he is perfect. Absolutely perfect. The fact that they managed to incorporate the three face, so you have the scrambly face, the chinny guy, and the guy with the one eye, is nice. It's a nice little touch. The articulation on him and everything is fantastic. It's got good leg movement. It's got good knee movement. He can stand really well. You can just plonk him straight down, and he is everything you want, really. He's got good head movement. Robot-wise, I can't think of anything much better they could have done with this bot. Now, this is where we hit a brick wall, because this thing has got major problems in regards to its robot form. If you own this robot, you know this thing, but if you don't, here's the problem. It's this up here, which is the shoulder. Now, people have told me that you can actually adapt this thing. You can actually alter it slightly to actually make the shoulder work correctly. You can even buy a kit to make it work correctly. But why didn't Hasbro just fix it before they released it? Not just did they release one version, they also did the other version, which is exactly the same problem. It's this, that when you lift the arm, it kind of comes out of its shackle. So it's actually it's not on the proper hinge. This part here doesn't tab in right. It looks like it's going to tab in right, but it doesn't. It's just all over the place, and it's just nasty. It's really nasty, because there's no arm movement that you can actually do this way, where this transformer here, when you want to move his arm out, I've just broke his arm off. Now this transformer here, if you want to move out his arms, you can move it, because it has shoulder movement that goes this way. This one, you're doing nothing. All it's got is that, and it doesn't even do that correctly. If he wants to put his arm up in the air, it looks like that. That's not articulation. This is a major flaw with this bot. It's just such a shame, because it could have been really good. The leg articulation on it ain't great either. He's got a bit of a knee, but he's more shin than he is thigh for some strange reason. His feet are ghastly, which seems peculiar, because the problem is where if he's in tank form, his feet kind of sit at the back or flappy. If he sits in plane form, his feet stick out in like points at the back. His feet don't look right in any form, so why did they design his feet like this? Fair enough, he can stand, but that's it. Such a shame. It's actually homaging the animated version by having a face that swaps, and the face swap is very, very clever. It actually goes upwards instead of sideways, so you have exactly the same three heads, not exactly the same, as the animated version. And the cockpit's really nice, how it sits on his chest like that, and the colours on him are really nice. It's just the fact that it lets it down so badly in robot form, to the point where there is no way I can actually give points to this thing as being a decent representation, a decent robot. It can't win. Therefore, animated must win this round.
Round 4.
Going on to the transformation, as previously said, this thing transforms nice and easy. It transforms really simply from one thing to the other. This thing, right, this is the problem. This thing transforms, and it's very, very, very difficult to do. But is that a bad thing? Because it's a puzzle. At the end of the day, it's a puzzle. I regard this as a grown-ups transformer. This is probably one of them where, when they released it, they thought that it would appeal to a mass market, but it doesn't. Only a certain demographic. It will only appeal to the more mature transformer collectors. I've had to sit and drink beer while actually doing this thing, because it's so irritating when you actually transform it. But I like that. I like that about it. I like the fact that it's a chore. This thing to transform is a breeze. It's an absolute joy to transform. This is a chore to transform, but not too much of a chore that I will never transform it. So that's where my problem lies. Who wins this round? And you know what? I'm going to say it's a draw, because this is too easy to transform and this is too hard to transform. So there can't be any winner in this.
Final round.
Going on to the final round, which is the final execution. I've decided to keep out the homage to the original because it's unfair against an animated figure to actually say that it's a homage to the original, where this clearly is exactly the same colours as the original G1 Blitzwing. So I'm just going to go straight down to the final execution and look at each bot and say which one is actually a better bot, which one actually does the things and is a better toy than the others. Now, unfortunately, this thing came out unfinished in my eyes, which is a damn shame, because if they'd have just fixed it slightly and just finished it off, it could be great. There's also a few other things, like the paint on it ain't great. It has like splatters of paint where there shouldn't be paint. The rubber nose on it isn't fantastic. It's a damn shame. The sword is brilliant. The gun, not so much. Well, this guy just does exactly what he's supposed to do. He was released for the animated range. He looks like the animated character. He transforms into the tank. He transforms into... So I think final execution wise, the one that was supposed to actually hit the mark, the one that was supposed to do exactly what it was supposed to do, is the animated. So I'm going to give it to the animated. So that means the actual whole thing is a tie.
You win.
I actually went to Transformers and Such and asked their opinion on this. I wanted to know exactly what they thought of this Transformer, and just so that they could shed some light on it and maybe they could help me out. Chris P said, I have the Generations one, great tank mode, but could be better. Jet mode is clunky. Bot mode average, it needs the shoulder fix. Bisto said that he saw the Generations in B&M and he decided not to buy it. Fair enough, innit, I suppose. Beef says that he's still looking for one. I'm sure you'll find one, Beef. Kayla Gunderson said, I like both of them. I think we're missing them. Luca Monks gave me an absolutely massively detailed review on the Transformer. I won't go into the exactity of what he has said, but most of the stuff that we've said in this review he's agreed on, or vice versa. But he basically says that overall execution ain't animated, looks better, feels better, transforms better, holds better, and is brilliant Transformer. Fully agree. Hugh Pern says G1 Blitzwing kicks the shit out of the other two. Okay, don't have the G1, I'm afraid. Paul B says, that one you have with the animated looks better with the missile launchers for sure. That's because he gave me the missile launchers. It's a top line. The Generations one is let down by the odd shoulders that easily spotted. A few add-ons, I prefer the animated. So he basically says that he prefers the animated one as well. Dean Goodwin says that the face gimmick is good, but he doesn't like the nose cone thingy. I fully agree with the Generations. Declan says, I'll let you know when I get back from work today. And he never got back to me. What a terrible man. Show says, Gens Blitz having paint wear due to cone covering head design. I'm not 100% happy with either alt mode. Really kills it for me. Animated has its articulations issue and odd transformation choices, but it has styles for miles in every mode. Chris G says, animated wins. And I said, nice in-depth thanks for the detailed response, Chris. And then Chris put, animated had way better robot, his alt modes are way better. He actually put way better twice. It would have been way better if he only put it once. So I really appreciate all the feedback I got from the group on the bots, and I hope you've enjoyed this this review. You know, he keeps doing this. The amount of times I've done that, and he keeps just. Does he supposed to click in? He doesn't even click in. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.